Welcome, everyone. I was not supposed to record today, but the markets are on the move. I do want to provide a quick XRP update. Let me know about my microphone. Is it still working good? How's my mic? I need some comments so I can get started. First and foremost, I'm going to bring XRP chart. I do want to provide an update. So we do have the chart here. Let me see the comments. I do need some comments, guys. So let me know if my mic is working. It says live streaming ended. I'm confused. That's funny. Okay, I was in the wrong. I have two tabs from StreamYard, so I was looking the recording. I just made a video and I was not seeing any comments, so that's why I got confused. All right, so let's have a look at the charts. There are some key levels I want you to actually visualize with me. I think this is the best way to visualize it. And the first key level, so let's go a bit back. A few weeks ago, I did live streaming with some of my buying targets, and I did get some of my orders filled. I truly believe this zone here still is a great buying zone, $1.60. There has been a week, so I was able to buy a few XRPs at $1.65. I know some people texted me. They also had the opportunity to get around 168, 167. And so far, so good. XRP didn't go below this critical zone, $1.60. That would be catastrophic. I have called it on the chart the apocalyptic zone. So we don't want to lose $1.60. However, this price action still has not convinced me. I know we are above $2 right now, and $2, it's not that important on the chart. It's more like a psychological zone. So you do have to keep in mind that although this looks good, we still have to prove, and we still have major validation levels that we have to break. And one level that I want you to pay attention, it's $2.30. This is acting now as a big resistance level on the charts. It was the previous support level that we lost when XRP has dropped from $3. So this, which I say here, bulls in control, that's how I have highlighted that on my charts. If XRP breaks $2.30 and is able to consolidate above, I truly believe we could make new all-time highs. I truly believe by the time XRP breaks $2.30, we're going to have an invalidation of the bearish claims. I know I made some bearish claims when XRP was at $3. However, I have not invalidated those claims yet. But once we get above $2.30, I might change my mind. So I'm talking here on the short term, okay? Of course, on the mid-term and on the long term, we have another interesting catalyst for XRP, which I'm going to share right now, and that's about the supply shock. So we do have news from XRP on exchanges. Let me bring this. So as you see, that XRP supply on exchanges hit 7-year low, and that was reported by Cointelegraph on X, which I am still suspended. So the supply on the supply of XRP on exchanges has dropped to $1.6 billion. Sorry, billion dollars, no, 1.6 billion XRP. And I know for a fact on CoinMarketCap, the circulating supply of XRP is about 60 billion XRP. Now, I am not the greatest, I'm not so great with mathematics, but 1.6 billion available on exchanges, 60 billion on CoinMarketCap, that should be about 1.6% of the entire circulating supply that's still available. That's very low. I know the whole supply, the entire supply, it's about 100 billion XRP. Of course, is less because you have to account for people who lost their keys, XRP that has been burned, and that's about, I would say that is 99 billion XRP. So yeah, it's low. I mean, it says here that this represents a significant decrease from the 3.76 billion XRP recorded in October. And I remember I covered this in details with XRP wallets. He has a fantastic research on the available XRP supply, and that just keeps decreasing. Now we have ETFs that are adding further pressure on XRP supply. But if ETFs, they have inflows and outflows, so very often you're going to hear about all of these numbers and like billions of dollars, millions, hundreds of millions of dollars in inflows. But I know people like to hype it up, so you also have outflows, and that's my explain why XRP is not at $10 yet. But there has been one major change, and that's about XRP being treated as a commodity by the CTFC. And that means that XRP is going to be utilized as a collateral for the derivatives market, and that changes the entire game. That is the real inflow, in my opinion, because this is a perpetual inflow. This puts pressure on the chart because now financial institutions need to hold XRP on their balance sheets. You can't have an asset that has no stability to work as a collateral for the derivatives market. So that's really can add further pressure on the XRP supply, and perhaps we can have, I don't know, 500 million XRP left on exchanges, and at that point is inevitable. Price has simply to adjust. It has to go up. It's inevitable. Let me see some comments here. I'm going to be answering some questions, and before I want to actually share BTC chart so you can also understand, because of course XRP is still following BTC, and so BTC is not convincing me at all. As I said, for XRP that would be $2.30. BTC, and this is a mistake, it should be 91. So the strong resistance for BTC, and by the way today it has failed to get above the resistance level, is $91,000. Until BTC is not breaking $91,000, I am still bearish on BTC. I know we are not that far from the danger zone. As you can see here, another 15% drop on BTC price, and we would come close to MicroStrategy average purchasing price, and then they just have to liquidate their positions because they have to pay the creditors. As you know, they are borrowing money to buy BTC. They're not buying BTC with their own capital, and that's a lot of red flags with that. So with BTC, the situation is pretty simple. $91,000. Now, if BTC reclaims $91,000 and XRP reclaims $2.30, I might believe that we can enter a new phase of this bull run. Now, right now, markets, they have been quite slow in the last days. Historically, this first week of the year is always quiet. There's not much going on. I know the S&P 500 keeps going up, so that's also contributing to this move that we see in crypto itself. Now, we need crypto. I mean, we need BTC to help itself. I want to see, you guys know, I'm not a big fan of BTC, but in this moment, I truly want to see BTC to break above $91,000. That's going to help the overall crypto markets. I'm going to answer a few questions. By the way, guys, I was not supposed to record today. I am very tired. It's sorry, I can't even speak today, guys. It's almost 2 in the morning. I am in Greece. I'm going to be traveling very soon. I'm going to be traveling to Portugal. Someone asked if I am in Cyprus. I am not in Cyprus. I am in Athens. And yes, XRP follows BTC. Wow, shocking news, right? But at some point, we're going to have a decouple. I do have some funny people in the comments. Not in Cyprus. I'm going to be answering some questions. This will be a quick live streaming. Let's see if what I said is actually factual information. I mean, let's bring CoinMarketCap, and yes, the supply, total supply, 99.98 billion XRP. Of course, initially it was 100 billion XRP, and circulating supply is about 60 billion.67. So yeah, we still have 60 billion circulating supply. And for the ones that don't know, we have about 35 to 40 billion XRP in escrow. And I am taking a look at some comments now. So be answering some comments. My top 7 holdings. Well, for sure, XRP is number 1. XLM is my second largest holding. My third one at this moment is SHX. I also have been accumulating the dips for SHX. And then it has to be HBAR and Algorand. I have similar amounts of HBAR and Algorand. And finally, what's my number 6 is probably what I am forgetting about. Number 6 is probably Velo. I do have a very large bag of Velo, which has been underperforming this cycle. I truly believe on the short term, SHX has more potential than Velo. No, I don't hold Quant anymore. Someone asked me for Quants. I actually sold my Quants, and I have exchanged my Quants for yes, bravo. XDC is my number 7. I was forgetting about XDC. XDC is the Ethereum killer. That's how I see it. Do you think XRP gets above to? Do you think XRP? So let me bring the questions to the screen so this is more easy for you guys to follow. Do you think XRP gets above $2.20 before next dip? It's 50-50. I wish to have the answer. I truly don't have the answer. Now, I think we're still going to have some dips before crossing. I'm not talking about $2.20. I'm talking about $2.30. That's the major resistance levels on the charts right now. So I do think there is a higher chance we're going to see lower levels before we see $2.30. And as I said, I'm checking now, sorry, using my phone just to check the BTC price is about $89,800. So it has failed to break above this $91,000 multiple times. I was watching this chart today, basically all day. I was trying to understand what's happening next. It has failed to break. I did set some alarms on my phone just to be sure I would be following it very closely. And honestly, that's why I'm not so excited about the markets right now, because I really want BTC to actually climb above $2. $2, no, sorry guys, today I am quite tired. I was talking about BTC, 91K. If XDC is Ethereum killer, will XDC reach Ethereum prices? I don't think XDC will reach Ethereum prices, but I think on the proportion, XDC's price will increase substantially in comparison to Ethereum. I think Ethereum price is going to fall at some point, and I truly believe we can see like XDC at 10 cents or XDC at $1 or XDC at $10. Not necessarily $2,000. I don't think that's even something considerable. I mean, it's very difficult to reach Ethereum prices, but you don't need XDC to reach Ethereum prices to make profits with XDC. That's the point. I'm checking some comments here. Would 52,000 XRP be enough to retire in 2030? I think that's more than enough. If you have more than 50,000 XRP, you are like top 1% holders. Or I can even check on the XRP rich list. Basically, I do have it. I just made a video, by the way, guys, about the XRP rich list. So there has been some updates on the XRP rich list. And yeah, that is it. So top 10%, you do need 2,332 XRP. And well, if you have 50,000 XRP, you are top 1% basically. With 48,000 XRP, you are part of the top 1% club already. So you can consider yourself a whale. 5,000 XRP is also a solid bag, and sometimes it's not so much about the size of your bag. It's more about how long are you willing to hold it and where you are holding it. I mean, if you just hold on exchanges, I think it doesn't matter if you have 50,000 or 5,000, you won't make it. At some point, exchange collapses will happen. So don't focus so much on the amount that you hold. Focus more on your strategy. DCA is not a financial advice, but I think you should DCA. And remember, let's make a comparison with BTC. People who bought BTC at $500 and sold at $1,000. So if you had like 50 BTC, you didn't make a lot of money. But someone that had 5 BTC and just held it for like years and until for over a decade holding it, this person has outperformed the ones that have much larger bags in the past. So the whole point is basically you need to take care of where you are holding it, and you need to have patience. Trust wallets. I'm not a big fan of trust wallets, honestly. I truly prefer Xaman wallets over trust wallets. I know a lot of people who lost funds, got their trust wallets compromised. I truly believe hackers target much more trust wallet, which is a mainstream wallet, rather than would target, for example, Xaman wallets. Not saying that they can hack trust wallets, but your seed phrases are more likely to be compromised if you don't take care of them by holding XRP on a trust wallet. So I'm not a huge fan. Let's see some other comments here. My prediction for HBAR. I don't like to come with price predictions, but Hedera is fantastic. Well, we had major ETFs in the crypto space for Solana, XRP, BTC, and Ethereum. And right now in January, we're going to have another ETF for HBAR Hedera. So that signals institutional adoption. I can also say that Hedera is not really a blockchain. That's a hash graph. It's a different technology, but they have faster finality than most blockchains. So that's something to consider. I truly advise you to see Hedera's governing council. They have major players like Google, IBM. It's just fantastic. LG also there. So Hedera, it's a sleeping giant. HBAR outperforms most. I'm talking about the ecosystem. It's basically much better than Solana, much better than Ethereum. I truly believe it's a sleeping giant. I'm checking some comments here. XRP price prediction. I'm not making XRP price predictions. I'm just saying that XRP's potential is unlimited. I don't put even a limit to where XRP can arrive. Now, I don't like to give deadlines. Do you think in the future will be a way to never sell XRP and receive yields on the XRP ledger for retail? Yes, I truly believe you will not need to sell your XRP in the future. I truly believe through lending platforms, we're going to earn yields by lending our XRP to financial institutions like Santander or Bank of America. But at a moment where markets are going to be regulated, it's not yet time to make passive income out of your XRP. But I truly believe in the future, you're going to have the possibility to make money with your XRP without even selling it. So yes, that's going to be a possibility. Let's see more comments here. Decent wallet is good. Yes, Decent is a great wallet. I do have a Decent wallet myself. I have multiple cold wallets. However, Decent is one of my favorite ones. Oh, thanks. I appreciate your comments, mate. Thank you. It has not been a very easy end of 2025 for myself, but I'm keeping up the fights. Do you trust Flare and staking some rapid XRP there? Yes, I do trust Flare. Although I'm not an expert on Flare, but One of my best friends is called Karan, and he's a great XRP content creator, and he specifically talks about Flare. So if you want information on Flare, I highly recommend you to check his channel on YouTube. I know Flare has a massive ecosystem. I know the founders are very well connected to Ripple. So I know people are making some income by staking XRP on Flare. I personally don't stake my XRP anywhere. I just like to keep it on cold wallets. But I don't see nothing wrong with experimenting with a small fraction of your bag. I mean, don't put more than like 5% of your XRP holdings there, but you can try it out. 1%, 2% is not going to hurt. And Flare is overall a trustworthy ecosystem. It's also undervalued, on my opinion. That is something also that is adding pressure to XRP supply, because there is like millions of XRPs that are being staked. I know it's rapid XRP, but they do have then to proceed and buy XRP and hold it in order to be able to stake the rapid version of XRP. So that also puts pressure. Greetings, Happy New Year. I also wish you a fantastic 2026. Thanks. I love this number, by the way, 3333. Magical number. Why I sold quants? Well, first let me change this background here. I like to have the chart behind me. Let's see what's going on. Well, I sold quants simply because I saw better opportunities back there. And I was right. I mean, SHX has massively outperformed quants back there when I traded my quants to SHX. Let me see quant price right now. So quant is $79. And basically, I sold it not much at the peak, but I sold it above $100. So I don't regret selling it. And the real problem is that Quant is built on Ethereum. It's ERC20 ecosystem. Although they have great interoperability capabilities, which can save Quant in the future, I truly believe you have better opportunities. It already had a major run in the bull run of 2020. 2021 was one of the best performing assets. And honestly, the whole ERC20 ecosystem has been underperforming this cycle. Think about the great winners, Matic, Atom. Well, there are several protocols that are built on Ethereum ecosystem that are still sitting below bear market prices. So I'm not particularly excited about quants. So yes, I sold quants. I'm not talking bad on quants. I understand people that hold quants. I even know that Versan still holds quants. But I think there are better opportunities. Let's see. Oh, I like this comment. Edo, a former English banker, told me that an insider has received reports from the Bank of International Settlements that XRP will be assigned a very high price. What do I think? I totally believe that's possible, especially with XRP being treated as a commodity. So XRP is now in the same category as gold, and XRP is now utilized as a collateral for derivatives markets. That's also massive. When we look to historical data, assets that are utilized as a collateral, they can't trade at a low price like XRP right now. It's just price has to adjust upwards. So I truly believe that makes sense. Of course, I'm bringing from this perspective. This is just one angle. We can see this from 100 different angles. One of them is also that a higher priced XRP is also a better vehicle for payments. So there are so many reasons why XRP is not going to stay at $2. It's not a financial advice, but my years of research really point out towards a very high price for XRP. Do you mind? checking some comments here. Basically, someone asks me the difference of staking versus placing in institutional custody. With staking, usually you have to do it on chain. So basically, the whole reward system happens on the blockchain, and you can do that in different ways. One of them, for example, on Flare with a wrapped version of your XRP. Just let me clarify, you don't have any native staking for XRP. So remember this, guys, you can't make staking out of your real XRP on the XRP ledger. It doesn't exist. It's something that might be possible in the future. So whenever they talk about staking, it's always a wrapped version of the underlying asset, in this case, XRP. Of course, in other chains, you do have native staking, but placing in institutional custody, in this case, the XRP effectively needs to actually leave your wallets, in this case, for institutional custody. But of course, that's going to be completely different. It's going to be a regulated market. Imagine you're going to have a contract. Let's imagine you make a contract with Santander where the rewards are going to be defined on this contract, and then you have a level of security. Much different than just most of the platforms that provide Yacht nowadays, where everything is completely unregulated. And that's one of the reasons why I'm not trying to monetize on my XRP before regulation is fully implemented. Once you have a contract with Santander, that puts you in another level. Do you think the Clarity Act will spark the institutional investor going to XRP? Absolutely. They need, well, the name says everything. They need clarity. And now there's a whole new definition of utility tokens. So the Clarity Act is really going to get rid of the majority of trash that is in the crypto space, all of the meme coins, everything that has no intrinsic value, that doesn't derive from the blockchain itself. In this case, XRP is a payments protocol and still stands as the only regulated digital asset in the United States. And right now they are just giving clear definitions. So what the SEC has to deal with, and they're going to deal with securities. And then you have the CTFC that's going to take care of stable coins, for example. So right now, crypto is being redesigned. There will be a whole new definition of what a mature blockchain actually means. And of course, that's going to open the gates for institutional capital. I see someone that repeats a lot this question. Have you seen anything about J Clever controversy? Honestly, I have not seen it. I am not interested on taking part of dramas in the community. I'm just focusing on the fundamentals. In this channel, I don't discuss people, I just discuss ideas. This is a very funny comment. I just want to roast these comments here. I need to open SHX chart first and foremost. Someone is saying that SHX doesn't do nothing but go down. Well, you can check 1 year of streaming with Versan, and you will see that we have been telling people to buy all the lows of SHX. I also have a trading group where I tell people myself, I give them the best entries, and I have made over probably 150,000 euros just trading SHX. So if you are telling me SHX is just going down, you are doing something wrong. All you had to do in this cycle is simply buy it here, sell it here, buy it here, sell it here, buy it here, sell it here. This is not a financial advice, but do you see where the price stands now? Well, you be the judge. Do you think it's going to fall, or do you think it's going to repeat what it has done 10 times in the last year? Well, these comments, man. I will even bring this guy to the screen. Look, SHX hasn't done nothing but go down. Yeah, sure. I made 100K by trading SHX, but it's not moving. These guys, they are very funny. Go check our streamings, by the way. I do like Monero. I think it will have a pivotal role with CBDCs and more government control. There will be a high demand for privacy tokens. So I am 100% pro Monero. I do hold some. Can you please give insight on SHX? Well, we're going to discuss SHX in more details. So Monday with Versan, we're going to prepare a presentation about SHX. I know there's a lot of questions about SHX. Let's see. I like these comments. BTC has no function to maintain its value. It relies on retail and variable idiots. Yes, they are actually using retail to cash out the dormant BTC wallets. I can't say much about this. That puts my channel at risk, but you can see some of my previous videos on this topic. Thanks for letting me know about the audio. If I have looked into Zebek. No, I have not yet. I have been so busy recently. Let me clarify. These months, particularly the last 2 months, I didn't have my video editor, so I'm doing a lot of work myself. So I don't have a lot of time these days. I need to get my video editors back. We are still for the Yacht party? Absolutely yes. As soon as XRP hits $10. And that will be in Mykonos. It's so many questions that I wish to answer. It's just too many. Good questions, by the way. That's why I love my audience. You already bought the outfit for the Yacht party. That's awesome. I have not decided mine yet, but I just know I'm gonna drink a lot. Thank you for all the positive information. What do you think XRP would reach in 2026, and would you invest in XLM as a backup coin? Great question. As I said before, XLM is my second largest holding. So I do have a lot of XLM. I truly believe it's one of the most undervalued coins in the entire crypto markets. And as per XRP price predictions, I'm not making price predictions. I just like to focus on the fundamentals. But if you follow my channel, you know I truly believe XRP is undervalued at $2. There's no way XRP will become a world reserve currency, and it's going to be still trading below 10, below 100, below 1,000. That's all I can say. Green candle dress. Yeah, that's lovely. Lots of questions about the Canton network. Let me break this down. I have not done so much research on the Canton network, but as far as I understand, it's a private network for the banks to communicate with each other. It's like, think of a WhatsApp messaging system that works for banks, and of course that's a private messaging system. But there is a major flaw from the Canton network, which it's very recent. When was it created? Canton network creation. Let's see. So I just made a research here, and it's created in 2023. And honestly, a system to be considered reliable, to have robustness, it needs to be tested for at least a decade. That's how I see it. And that's why I don't think it can compete with XRP and XLM that have been around for over 10 years. And you have 99.99% time without sorry, I confused the words, but I was trying to say that you don't have downtime with XRP, and you have it's time to close the live. I can't talk anymore. It's too late my time zone. But the real concept here is that XRP doesn't have downtime like other networks such as Solana, such as BTC, such as Ethereum. So in order for financial institutions to adopt a network, it must have been proven for at least a decade. And this network here, Canton network, is around for what, 2 or 3 years? I don't think it can compete with XRP. If I prefer holding or trading, of course I prefer holding. It's much less stressful. I also trade, but I want to make this very clear. People see that I trade a lot and sometimes they want to trade. First, I don't recommend everyone to trade. And second, I trade with like 10% or 5% of my entire portfolio. So even if I do a crazy mistake, I will sleep fine. That's what I can say. SHX on BTCC. I don't think SHX is available on BTCC. Is it? Please let me know. By the way, let me show you guys something. I did a new partnership with a derivatives exchange. And so there's a new campaign with Bitunix. And you can just check the link that I'm going to drop in the description of this video. Is Bitunix. And what I like about this, there is a reason. I do everything with a reason. You can trade crypto without KYC. But yes, it's derivatives markets, but you can buy XRP and you can withdraw XRP to a cold wallet. That's the main reason I decided to make a partnership with Bitunix. So that enables you to actually, you can withdraw up to $500,000 per day without KYC, which is something completely new. I mean, it's very few exchanges that allow you to withdraw that large amount of cash without KYC, and they have been operating for like almost a decade without downtime. So I truly believe that's helpful. Do you ever spend crypto? Only when there is necessity. So recently, for the ones that don't know, I have been through a lawsuit which I initiated against Twitter for suspending my account, and I spent a lot of money. Unfortunately, I had to sell some crypto. So yeah, sometimes when there is necessity, I think everyone sometimes, if you want to buy a house or you want to do something, it makes sense that you can sell some crypto. Now, I didn't sell XRP. I took profits in other coins. I took profits on SHX. I took some profits on HBAR, and that was it. Now I'm buying it all back, by the way. Hi, Edo. I live in Italy. I'm Italian, by the way, Simone. I live in Italy. What do you think is the best way to protect digital assets, trust, LLC, or any other suggestion? Well, I truly believe the first thing, Fratello, you must leave Italy. That's the first thing I would do, actually. Get your tax residency outside of Italy. Perhaps you can set a tax residency in Cyprus. That will grant you 0% tax on your crypto assets. I know there has been talks that they might increase for 3 or 5%. I totally believe that's also fine. I also recommend to make a digital wallet certificate. You can talk to a trustworthy lawyer, and that can help you to off-ramp crypto. And yes, if you have more than, let's say, 100 or 150,000 euros in crypto, I totally believe it's worth it to actually consider an LLC, because honestly, cold wallet protects your seed phrase. I'm sorry, let me just come back to the screen here. Yeah, now I can see better. So a cold wallet protects your crypto, but it doesn't protect you. I mean, there's so many risks, and you have to treat your crypto not only for what the current price is. You don't have to think it as XRP at $2, but what you think happens once XRP is at $100. So I think it's much worth it to be prepared in advance. I am doing that myself. I'm setting up my tax residence in Cyprus because honestly, Italy has, I think it's like 27% now on the crypto gains. So it's very high. I don't want to just give money away to the government. But I think with a trust and LLC, you should be fine. BTC was only a prototype. Yes, that's true. I have provided evidences of this. All my research on Ripple communications. I still have a video that's on YouTube. Unfortunately, that's gone on Twitter, but yeah. Dutch Libertarian, I appreciate you, mate. I know you are in every single live streaming. I wish to have a coffee with you, mate. If you come to Greece, let me know. I'm gonna show you around. Thanks for the super chat. Does a global reset in currency equals a high price for XRP? Yes, I truly believe that is the one catalyst that nobody's talking about. We need a major change on the current financial system. In other words, a change in how money operates. And XRP is a global reserve currency. That would be a game changer. And that's what Ripple has designed XRP for. Replace Nostro accounts and effectively work as a global reserve currency. Not my words, Brad Garlinghouse ones. By the way, guys, how is my lighting here? I want to take some time to... I am doing a lot of mistakes here with StreamYard today. I don't know what's going on, but I did bought new lights for my background, so let me know if you like it. Have been making some changes on how I record the videos. Very soon, I want my video editors back. Checking some comments. Crypto Eddie talks about Flare a lot. Yes, I think she does have very, very good research on Flare. I highly recommend everyone to check also King Karan channel on YouTube. He's one of the best Flare content creators out there. I want to move to Cyprus once price moves up. Yes, I love Cyprus, by the way. Now I spent half of the time in Greece and half of the time in Cyprus. I might go back to Cyprus now in January. By the way, anyone in Portugal, let me know. I'm going to Portugal in like 2 days. There's some funny comments. Why don't you do this live streaming in Spanish? We do live streamings in Spanish, but now with the vacations, with Christmas and New Year's, we weren't able to coordinate, the three of us. So we're going to be back Wednesday, me, Raul, and Francisco. For the ones that don't know, I do a live streaming in Spanish every Wednesday. So it has been 2 weeks that we failed with the live streaming, but volveremos. If you buy XRP anonymously with no KYC on exchange and start it in a cold wallet, do you think there will be only surprises or problems in the future when you want to sell some of it? This is a good question, and I don't want to give any legal advice, but from my understanding, you just have to have the proof. By the way, let's say you create an account on the exchange. Of course, you're going to have all your transaction history on the exchange where you bought XRP without KYC. It's no crime to buy XRP without KYC. So as far as you have proof that you bought it on the exchange and you didn't receive it from like money laundering purposes or something, you should be fine. You can use even a digital wallet certificate by a lawyer, and honestly, I don't see any problems with that. I'm doing that myself in Cyprus. I did have some purchases where I bought XRP without KYC, and so far so good. Yeah, that's great. You can actually withdraw 500k per day on Bitunics. It's very, very unique, because I also had a partnership with BTCC Exchange, and there was one flaw that you can withdraw only like 20 grand. So once you cross $20,000, then you are forced to KYC. And that's one of the reasons why I decided to now have this partnership with Bitunics, which I'm gonna drop that on the comments. Let me do it now so I don't forget to do it later. I'm gonna pin it on the comments, so anyone that wants to take part on this campaign, you can just go to the comments and check it out. I need 1 minute here, just a second. By the way, let me know some more questions, and in about 10 minutes, I'll go to sleep. It's actually 2:20 my time, so it's very late. Okay, let's see if this will work. Okay, yeah, that's I just dropped that on the comments, and I'm gonna pin it. Thanks for the tips on the lights. It's a bit dark, right? Yeah. I'm still trying to figure it out about my lighting. It's a lot of work to be a full-time YouTuber, guys. You can't believe it. Let's check XRP chart once again, and then I'm gonna proceed to the final thoughts on this live streaming. So yeah, still holding at $2.02. I hope we're gonna break $2.30. That would be fantastic. Yeah, so much drama in the US Senate, but eventually the Clarity Act will get passed for sure. Yeah, I think in about 6 months maximum, we should have it settled. Grazie, ci vediamo in Italia, però dove abiti? Love your work. New Zealand have a 48-month transitional tax amnesty for new movers. Interesting. There's this guy in the comments. It's very funny. Cold wallets. If I know cold wallets where I can store Monero, I don't know, honestly. Wow, that's news to me. Have you heard Russia will have a comprehensive legal framework for crypto by July the 1st? That's interesting, because the Central Bank of Russia has already successfully conducted tests on the XRP ledger. I wonder if there is a connection. Holding KNT, should I send it to SHX? Well, let me be very clear. I think you have better opportunity with SHX. I don't want to tell you what to do with your assets, but do some research on SHX. Look the chart, and I truly believe it's much easier for SHX to do a 3x than it is for Quant to make a new all-time high. I have made this decision in the past, and it has paid off. So yeah, guys, I'm gonna conclude this live streaming. Let me come full screen here. I want to wish everyone a fantastic year. We are in the first week of 2026, so I hope you guys are gonna have a blessed year, and I wish everyone nothing but green candles ahead. Is XRP a long-term hold? Of course it is. Yeah, it was supposed to be a short live streaming. I know maybe I didn't speak so eloquently today, but it happens. I am very tired. It's 2:30 my time. I don't, it's not my mother tongue, so when I get tired, it becomes more difficult to make live streaming. So I hope you guys understand. I hope you guys enjoyed the live streaming. I did provide some critical updates about the XRP chart. Thank you for your comments. Happy New Year, everyone. And remember, I'm going to be traveling around Portugal. If you are there, when I have a coffee, let me know. I can show you around. I lived in Portugal for 9 years, guys. I grew up there almost, and I'm going to go back to Lisbon for the first time in 5 years. So I left Lisbon to Greece. When I came to Greece, I left with just a backpack. I was supposed to spend 1 month here. I was visiting someone. I never went back. That's insane. I still have clothes in Lisbon, so I'm gonna be there for the first time after I left. So if someone is in Lisbon, let me know. These guys say teta. I say it. That's funny. Buonanotte, buenas noches, Kalinihta. Good nights. And yes, Happy New Year. Thank you, everyone. I'm going to see you Monday with Versan for the turning points. Yeah, 2:30 a.m. Can you guys see? I look tired. I guess so. Take care, everyone. I'm going to see you soon.